Alrighty, welcome back. We have another patch note today. So today is 1.0.8 update. I'm kind of surprised they put it out on Thanksgiving, but not everybody lives in America, so it's understandable. So let's do a read through and see what we got. So, all right. Rejects. We are 1 week into the pre-order beta and less than a week from the full release of Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, set for November 30th. Many of you have already had a chance to play. In fact, on average, players have played over 11 hours so far, with some highly devoted rejects, 12%, spending more than 30 hours. The Emperor respects. That's surprising to me. I would expect there to be a lot more people playing more than 30 hours, but that's me. It is exciting to see, but we clearly have more work to do. An area of focus this week was improving the online service stability and connection, and based on the current state, we have made a lot of progress in this area. I did notice that it was a lot better in terms of stability recently. That didn't say it's perfect. In fact, we are focusing on a set of connectivity issues that some of you are experiencing, often requiring you to use a VPN to play the game. That I didn't know. While we appreciate the extra effort from our players, this isn't an ideal state and something we plan to solve. For the 1.0 update, our focus was to improve overall game stability and slowly introduce new progression and economy features. This is outlined below and then followed with a summary of the patch notes. Game stability. We went into the pre-order beta with the idea that this is an opportunity to test, find new issues, and solve them. Blah. We also said in our earlier update that we were not happy with the game stability and that we have work left to do. That said, we have made progress in the area since the last patch and the one deployed today. We hope this translates to a much more stable experience. That isn't to say we are done, and there are still a few pesky issues out there we will continue to work through as we look to have a stable release. Just move this over. New features, progression, and economy. We are introducing more features as part of our progression systems and economy. For this update, we will introduce new cosmetics into the armor exchange. Ooh, okay, that's cool. An improved end-of-round experience. Good, we definitely need more there. And launch the first element of the crafting system. I was thinking they were going to do crafting, because obviously Vermintide had it, and they have that little forge on the side, opposite where the shop is. The first batch of character and weapons cosmetics are now available in the armor exchange. Expect a small variety of items, e.g. upper and lower body, head slots, and weapons. Cool. With access to more items growing as a player's level progresses. I wonder if the cosmetics will have any stat bonuses, given that they're coming from the armor exchange. Like, I assume you have to buy them. So maybe the cosmetics will work a little bit like curios. We'll have to see. To improve the player feedback of the progression system, we are also now highlighting what becomes available to players' weapons and feats via new end-of-round cards. Let's see. Hadron Omega 77, the Morningstar's resident tech priest, will now be offering her services at the Shrine of the Omnissiah, located in the hub just adjacent to the Psychanium. That's the one I was talking about. The shrine will be open to all rejects with a trust level of 4 or higher. Cool, you get access to it pretty early then. With today's patch, we're introducing the Consecration ability, allowing you to upgrade the tier of weapon or curio you have available. Sweet, that's awesome. As the items tier is upgraded, a random perk or blessing will be added, depending on the tier it has been upgraded to. Consecration uses crafting materials, with the cost increasing for higher tier weapons. Okay, how do we get crafting materials? Crafting materials are now available throughout the missions you undertake on Tertium. Be sure to explore the world, and you may find the materials to pick up. Oh my god. Okay, please change that. That's not fun. The resources collected are awarded to the entire team equally. That's at least good. Everyone gets the same amount of resources, and there is no split depending on team size. As you explore the Hive City, you will find plasteel, an exceedingly common material in the Imperium, and diamantine, a much rarer material only seen on higher difficulty levels. I remember seeing that earlier in one of the betas and not knowing what the hell diamantine was, so there you go. Now we know. Gameplay balancing. As we said before, we will continue to balance the gameplay based on player feedback. And one more thing about diamantine. I remember we were swimming in it. We had a ton of extra resources there, so that's pretty good to know. If this is the way they're going to do it, I think we'll be flush with it anyway, based on what I saw before, but who knows. Let's see. Gameplay balancing. As we said before, we will continue to balance the gameplay based on player feedback. In this update, we are trying to balance effortless kite dodging and maintaining the nimbleness of our lighter weapons that live and die by the dodge. Beyond that, we're also monitoring the current dodge and toughness configuration, and we'll continue to tweak it leading up to release. Okay. It does look pretty cheesy when people are just never-ending, like, dodging back and forth. It looks pretty stupid, so I'm wondering what they're going to do with this. The 1.0 update, 1.08 update focuses on continuing to improve the stability of the game along with the introduction of new features. Below is a complete outline of the changes in this update. All right, so that's the overview, and then we get the details. New features, crafting feature, UI for interacting with the workshop is available. I'm assuming they mean in-game workshop, not the Steam workshop. Consecrate functionality is available for players. Players can earn crafting materials from missions via pickups. Yep, Hadron's workshop as an interaction point is also available. Armor exchange updated, buy character and weapon skins in the store. Cool. I also hope this is with in-game money and not premium cash, but maybe that's exactly what that's going to be. Quality of life added, end of round, cards to show better what you unlock. Sire Milk's Requisitorium should better provide over. Yep, we know that. Heavy, pristine, mastercraft items. They really are just repeating what they wrote earlier. Made Zealot's Pendants 1 and 2 pants more distinct. Good, because they look exactly the same. One is matte and one is satin. We're adding better interfacing for some cases where invalid names are entered during character creation, making it clear that the chosen name input is not accepted. Fixed unlocalized strings in the settings menu. Fixed some localization on some cosmetics items. Improved item sorting by rarity. Should now consider item rating too. Shouldn't crash now either. That's very nice. I like that. Fixed an item where players could not use weapon special when ADS with the Lucius Mark III Hellbore lasgun. Okay. Fixed issues with some audio on the Excise Vault's Fireside 13 mission. Didn't notice that myself. Turn down the light emitted by the Zealot. The Zealot calm down and their overly bright aura will serve as a flashlight no longer. Okay. I'm not really sure what they're talking about here. Fixes so the convict garb no longer clips when having specific face. Okay. Fix an issue with some gloves not looking correct while sprinting. Weird. Fix an issue where several of the enemy stacker animations clipped a lot. Alright. Can now use weapon special when ADS on headhunter auto guns and braced auto guns. Cool. So you can turn your flashlight on or whatever. Or stock smash people. Fix some flickering in some prologue cinematics. The camera would jump through geometry when switching between players in spectator mode. Now it'll jump between players to remove those unsightly geometry collisions. Okay. Weirdly, ammo increased indefinitely when reloading during the prologue, which would cause a crash. This was fixed as you can reload as reload as much as you need. Okay. Fix some issues with buffering melee attacks when playing as Ogren. No attack was triggered when players held the button too early in a chain. We have now adjusted this a little to make the overall feel better. That's very nice. There's a couple more instances of this. I've noticed, like with if you're sprinting and you do a light attack, you can like cue another light attack and it doesn't happen, but the sound goes off and your attack goes into recovery. So you kind of get baited, like you clicked twice, but only one attack happened. Hopefully they fix that too. Fix some issues with buffering melee. Okay, we read that one. Better variety of grunts when pushing multiple enemies. We know you love a good grunt. Okay, great. Some voiceover was unintentionally canceled by players placing world markers or using the comms wheel. We fixed that for you. I kind of would like it to be the reverse. I'd rather be canceling the voiceover and having the characters call out the markers in the comms wheel. So flip that around. Players can no longer stand up on top of the elevator in Chasm Logistratum and render the mission impossible to complete. Re-entering an airlock after using it no longer triggers the group up VO, as this is no longer the objective. Okay. Fix an issue where stacking crit bonuses would break the crit calculation, rendering the weapon unable to crit. Say crit one more time. Okay. Fix the force staff sometimes having plus X% reload speed property, despite not being reloadable. It's a staff, after all, no need to reload it. Oh, that's good. Fix an issue with the Actran Mark 7A lasgun where shots would disappear after traveling 45 meters, 147 feet, 49 yards, or 0.0045 Swedish miles. Yeah, I did notice with some guns, like the shots just go away at a certain distance. Even with like the bolter, it does that too. It's kind of annoying. So I would like it if the weapons had much longer ranges, even though it's very rare that you actually get to see that. Made some minor tweaks to the minion melee movement. Tweaked ranged minions range switch from melee to ranged. Override when players are kiting them not to occur too close to players. Okay, let's parse this. Tweaked ranged minions, range switch from melee to ranged, override from melee Too ranged overwide. When players are kiting them, not to occur to coastal players. So I guess that means if you're kiting guys with las guns and swords, that they won't just pull out their las guns and shoot you if you're kiting them. Fix some broken stagger animations for various minions and some sound tweaks. Fixed animation on fuel hose NPC character being frozen at the beginning of the level 18 Path of Trust cutscene. Okay. Prologue cinematic fix for Zola's. Wound not looking like a wound, but something else. Oh, okay. So it looked like something Slaneshi, maybe. Made some voiceover tweaks that we always play a line when deploying a health pack or ammo crate. Oh, okay. That's really nice, because I don't like having to ping my own ammo crate. Fixed issue causing 2 or sometimes fewer items to appear in the credit store on refresh. For items to appear in the credit store on refresh. Improved stability of end of round rewards finalizing. Set up separate weapon specific dodge curves for light melee weapons. Tune up separate zealot baseline. Set up separate dodge curve for zealot class. Increase baseline dodge distance to 2.75 meters over 0.4 seconds. Was 2.5 over 0.4. So now you dodge a little bit farther by default. Increase dodge slide friction speed threshold to 5.5 meters per second from 4.5. We don't break down as hard on dodge sliding. Okay, cool. You go a little bit faster when you're dodge sliding. Set up weapon-specific curves for agile dodge profiles to allow customized behavior. For Aatrox tactical axes and Macabian dueling swords, custom curve 2.75 meters over 0.35 seconds with fine-tuned end of curve for chaining. Okay, so you dodge the same distance as the Zealot, but a little bit faster, and something to do with chaining. For Catastron Mark III Combat Blade, custom curve 2.9, dodge much farther. Okay. That's really cool, actually, that your melee weapon can influence how far you dodge. Over 0.35 seconds with fine-tuned end of turn. Okay. End of curve for chaining. We keep working on Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, and we'll keep optimizing the experience. We're nowhere near done, and hope you appreciate the improvements we've already managed to implement. Please let us know your thoughts and keep sharing your feedback. We appreciate you all. Thank you, the Darktide team. And then they have their standard FAQ down here. Very cool. All right. Thanks for watching that section on the patch notes. If you liked it, then check out my next video preview behind me, where we take a first look at the crafting station and the new shop layout, and try and speculate on how that's going to work in the future. And don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.